So, here we go. Right, my first podcast. I know, rather exciting, isn't it? But I have no idea how to do one. So I've been looking and found this kind of Spotify thing. So hopefully it'll work. Who knows? We never know. Anyway, right, so this is the story. It is I. I am me. No one important. This is how it's going to work. I found a book whilst out. Well, I didn't find a book. So the story goes. My son found a book. So we were at our local swimming place where they have those shelves with random books on. I was sitting there and my son came up to me and went, "Dad, I found a book for you." And by jolly, had he found a book for me? Well, actually he hadn't. It was the most awful book I've ever read. So, on that note, here comes the podcast. We thought that I should read this book and just generally explain how painful this book is as you read it. So I will be reading a rubbish book badly because I can't read very well. So that's the other thing as well. So yeah, so all in all, this podcast is probably going to be really bobbins, but that's the way it goes, isn't it? We'll keep trying, keep learning. You never know. Someone might like it. Someone might listen. You never know. Who knows? I don't care, really. Well, obviously I do care because that's the whole point of doing a podcast, isn't it? Because everyone loves each other and everyone wants to be loved, is the general saying. But hey-ho, I'm not here to praise Caesar. I'm not here to bury him either. So let's see how it goes. So this book is available from Amazon if you want to purchase it. Apparently, yeah, I have no idea. It was written in 2013, and I shouldn't really say the title, but let's start at the beginning, shall we? Now, there's no chapters in this book, and it's got 100 and something pages. How many pages has it got? That's a good question. Let's see. It's just a rambling man, isn't it? I'm just rambling. I love a ramble. 2008. Right, we need to find out who this average guy is as well. He's, on the back page, he's actually written about who he is, and then decided to write a book because he got a laptop or something. Oh, well, apparently he can be quick-witted. I think we'll find out as we read this book. So, are we all sitting comfortably? Well, let's start at the beginning. So, Trevor and Jane were getting themselves ready to go out for the evening. He'd finished taking a shower and was wandering around the bedroom of a small terraced house in his pants and dressing gown, collecting together the clothes that he was going to wear that night. Well, kind of hope he would be wearing clothes, wouldn't you? From the bathroom, he could hear the water from the shower gently splashing onto the bottom of the bath as Jane took a shower. Now, right, let's hold that. We're already into it, and I'm asking the question: does showers gently splash? Now, when I have a shower, the shower is quite strong, so I don't think the word gentle. Normally, if my kids have a shower, it's like a tidal wave, and the whole bathroom is flooded. When my missus has a shower, she's discovered that actually the shower turns off after 30 minutes automatically. So anyway, but gently splashing, does showers gently splash? I think not. Anyway, back to the story. Trevor was 32 years old. Jane was 30. Well, thanks for clearing that up. The noise from the shower stopped, and within a few seconds Jane walked into the bedroom with a large towel wrapped around her body and a smaller towel wrapped in a bun around her hair. "Did I leave my hairbrush here?" she asked, almost oh my God, why do you put stupid long words in? Rhetorically. Right. First of all, rhetorically, is that the way you would ask for a hairbrush? I'm not sure. Did I leave my hairbrush here? In here? You just ask it generally, wouldn't you? Did I leave my... It was more a general question, not whatever question. No, sorry, big word. What's the point? Jane was quite an attractive lady, a little shorter than Trevor. Okay, we now know the dimensions of these people. Well, I can't see one anywhere. Trevor replied as he glanced around the room. Oh, I wondered where I left it, she asked herself quizzically, and walked back into the bathroom. Right. You don't ask yourself anything quizzically. Anyway, Trevor and Jane had known each other for over 8 years, after meeting through a mutual friend whilst working at a large insurance company. They had lived in their house for 4 years, but had no real plans of either getting married or have a family. Okay, so we feel like it's all set up now. Trevor had always seen himself as a bit of a Jack the Lad, and felt that living with Jane was very comfortable, and it gave him the freedom to do what he liked, when he liked, within reason, without feeling too tied down. Well, obviously not into bondage then. Deep inside, he was also very nervous about going through a formal wedding, which he knew Jane would expect if they were to marry. Jane walked back into the bedroom, brushing her damp shoulder-length brunette hair. It's okay, I found it, she said. How are we doing with time? Well, she obviously found it if she was brushing her hair. Yeah, whatever. Trevor looked at his watch. It's nearly 7:45. The film doesn't start until 9, so you've got about half an hour, he replied. Trevor was quite handsome, and although not a particularly smart dresser, tending to wear a T-shirt, a pair of jeans, and a pair of trainers. He was very fastidious when it came to his hair. Fastidious, another great word. He often had it trimmed at the local barber, where he was considered to be a regular, and always kept a comb in his back pocket of his trousers, because he lived in the 1940s as a teddy boy. No, what? Right, come on now. Who keeps a comb in their back pocket? Hands up, come on. I know someone's listening. Well, no one's listening out there because this is a rubbish podcast and I'm just waffling. But I'm sure no one's out there, really. But let's discuss this. So, back pocket comb, really? Does anyone do that? I don't know. I don't know anyone who No. It was mid-May, and on that particular Friday evening, Jane had persuaded him to take her to the cinema to see a horror thriller that had been recently released. He glanced out of the bedroom window at the bright blue cloudless sky. Well, I think we'll need to take our coats tonight, he said as Jane plugged a hairdryer into the socket on the wall. Right. Jane plugged a hairdryer into the socket on the wall. First of all, where would the socket be if it wasn't on the wall? And if Jane had just plugged a hairdryer in, we would have automatically known it was a socket on the wall. Far too many words used there. No, she said. It's been lovely today, and the forecast that it will stay like this for the rest of the weekend. Are you sure you want to go to the cinema tonight? Trevor asked. Why? Where would you rather us go? Jane replied, with a weary smile on her face. To the pub. Now that's not such a bad idea, Trevor said, with an upbeat tone in his voice. I can just feel the way this is going. Already, with their different heights, they've described both of them, and we obviously know that old Trevi boy has a fear of weddings, and he likes a pub. So I'm not finding... Yeah, and I just don't get this book at all. It's just doing my head in, really. Trevor wasn't particularly enamoured about taking Jane out to the cinema to see a horror thriller, as he felt scaring the wits out of the audience was definitely not his view of entertainment. He would normally prefer spending Friday evenings with a couple of good friends, Dave and Pete, at the local pub. He'd put off taking her, but this was the last evening that the film would be screened at their local cinema. He had earlier phoned Dave and made up an excuse for not going to the pub that particular Friday night. Why can't he just tell Dave, look, I'm taking my missus out. I can't go to a pub tonight. Come on, guys, you can miss the pub every now and then. It's just ridiculous. Trevor, Jane said indignantly, another big word, for just one Friday evening, you are going to take me out to the cinema. Or do Dave and Pete need you to hold their hands in the pub each Friday evening? It's okay, I was only joking, Trevor replied, backing away from any confrontation. Right, so he's fear of commitment and confrontation now. Jane held the hairdryer to her head. Before she could turn it on, Trevor's mobile phone rang. Okay. Where else would you hold the hairdryer? Well, to her left knee? As As he picked it up from the top of one of the bedside cabinets, he could see it from the display, but it was a call from Dave. Dave's calling. Dave's calling. Gotta love Dave. Anyway, right. Now I've only made it page 3. I'm already annoyed. So annoyed that I'm actually going to stop reading. Anyway, that's just a sample of the amazing rubbishness of my podcast. I don't think this is going to last very long at all. I don't think anyone will be listening to us. But hey, that's where it goes. But it's worth a try, isn't it? Just worth a try. I'm obviously a person who's reading this. Gone a bit mental due to issues. So, hey, woohoo. Let's see what abuse I get. Very good. Right. Bye.